Greetings, what's up everyone? This is your boy Jaylen Rencher.
And I'm Imani Smith.
This is the Let's Be Straight Up podcast. Today's name for our segment of our show is Oh How Life is So Precious. Today we'll be talking to you about anxiety, depression, generosity, like why people should be more generous and what's going on with ASU on this campus and about their life on with their police and ASU PD. So the thing I do want to talk about today is a subject that we was talking about before we even started the show. And it's about, what's that lady's name?
So, I don't know the officer's name off the top of my head, but there was a Dallas police officer and a woman who was shot, another person who was shot by another Dallas police officer in their own home once again. I think that happened today, and the Dallas police officer, I guess, had got a call about an intruder. And so they went to go check out the place, and they were circling the place. I guess they were looking for the intruder, and they told the woman to put her hands up, show me your hands. And then in the body cam footage, she only had 3 seconds, literally less than 3 seconds, to show her hands to the officer. Now imagine somebody walking into your home and telling you, you don't know who it is, why they're there, and telling you to show you their hands. Your immediate reaction is not going to be, oh, put my hands up in the air.
I'm gonna tell you, get the hell out of my house.
Right, exactly.
Like, why are you in my house when you have no warrant, no search warrant,
Exactly.
no nothing? You have no right to. Then you open my door. How the hell you even open my door?
Well, the door was already open, and that's what initiated the call.
Oh.
So that's why the neighbor called the police, because it was unlike her to keep the door open.
Yeah.
And so she was visiting a family member, and it was unlike them to have their front door open at all. So I guess he came in. She had like 3 seconds to put her hands up, and he shot and killed her. And the police department is saying that he was just doing his job.
For one, like he didn't. You say it was a she, right? That killed him, right?
No, it was a man who shot a woman, a black woman.
First of all, like, why is he even? What, like, you don't. For one, if you do, like, you don't have to kill the person. Like, you could tase them, you can put them down and stuff like that. It doesn't always have to resort to like killing somebody.
Right.
Like, it's always better ways you can handle the situation. Some people just be so scared. Like, they be so scared of us.
That's exactly
for
what it
what
is.
Like, for what I do not know. And the fact they be scared, they use it as an excuse, like they're scared and whatever, and they reacted in this way. But no, you had that intention. Because even when you are scared of something, you still supposed to be trained the right way to know how to handle that situation.
Right.
And that means you tell me the department that you had, they didn't properly teach you how to handle the situation. So that means we need to get more on the department. We need to put more on them, more pressure on them, that it's their fault why such and such is happening to our culture.
And I think it's a combination of both. I think that we should have police officers who have lived in this area before or who frequent the area. Not police officers that grew up out in the suburbs and don't know anything about the area and the neighborhood and the people, or have them familiarize themselves with the neighborhood and who lives in there. So that level of fear is decreased because, hey, I know this person. I grew up around here. I know this person. They've been here all my life. Oh, Miss such and such lived da-da-da. Oh, that's just her crazy cousin because she always do this. They get drunk. They get rowdy. We just gonna take them in. They're uncomfortable in the situation already. So they walk in with the intentions of shoot to kill, which is...
It's ridiculous.
Like,
this is not no military or nothing. This is real deal. We're in America. You are a police officer. You don't have to act like, you're going out to Afghanistan or something when you gotta fear for your life because either kill or be killed or something like that. But you are actually being around civilians, people who are unarmed, who don't even mean no harm to you. You going in that person's house?
Right,
like,
exactly.
Like, why?
At which point you are the intruder.
Exactly.
I understand a police officer
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to interrupt. I'm not sure about the political correctness of this podcast, but a lot of these polices be having sad lives the whole time, and then these niggas be hoes. So they finally get a little authority, quote unquote, and now they abuse it, and then they do what the fuck they want to do, and then they can just kill us and then get away because they've been hoes their whole life, and now they can just feel like they got a little power. And okay.
I mean, I can feel right, because these type of scenarios that happen, it puts people in like real, like it makes people get personal about it, because it ties to a person's mindset. Okay, you doing all this, it puts a person in fear. It gives a person anxiety. When a person's anxiety like increases more and get more serious, it's hard to act right in these type of situations, especially if you see a police. Every time so a lot of black people I always see when they even think about the police, they be like F12, forget 12. If I see one, I'll kill one. You feel me? Like, and it gets that serious because the motive that's going around, the scenario that's going around in the media and everything, cops just killing black people, and it ain't even no good reason for why they're doing it, and so that puts us in fear. Every time I see a Caucasian or a cop that isn't black, even some black cops can be like messed up. Like I ain't gonna lie, I met some good like cops and whatever. Like I had some cops like back then. When I was younger, back in high school, we'd be hooping at the park or something. We had some cops, they'll come up to us like, hey, can we hoop with y'all? Can we hang with y'all? And they'll talk to us and let us know that not all of us are bad and stuff like that. But we do have the ones that are corrupt and stuff. Because honestly, that's been bad cops since the beginning, since they first started the whole little police department and all that stuff. There's always been bad cops. It's just now they're taking it to another level that's attacking the black culture.
I think that this has always been going on. It's just caught on camera now. And so since it's caught on camera, they have to be held accountable in some type of way. If that means public scrutiny, or if that means, that's all they really get, because ain't nobody really went to jail yet except for that girl. She got 10 years for killing a man.
Yeah.
You took a whole life and you took a life and you only are doing 10 years. It's not fair. I think that, once again, just shut the whole Dallas Police Department down. Restart it over, period. Exactly. It's over.
Let's go ahead and just make it.
You need to
reprogram everything you're doing with your system, all that stuff. Because like, for one, black people already go through enough. For one, we already go through enough through poverty. We have people that are poor, be going through education. You have some black people that be thinking that school isn't where it's at. So like, you should still want to graduate high school and all that stuff. You have some black people that can't feed their family. That's why they be trying to steal. They be trying to rob. People will kill for a piece of bread out here. And like, it's already enough that we're going through as a culture. Then now we got to worry about being killed off. After we're not even bothering anyone, just because a person, he probably sagging or he's doing this or he looks suspicious. Like, that is just the most, that's just really absurd to me because a person is looking suspicious. Instead of, okay, he looks suspicious, now I should be afraid. Try to get to understand what is that person's agenda. Like, hey, like, why you just can't pull up? Like, you pull them over, ask like, what are you doing? How your day's going? And all that stuff. Like,
if you don't see a crime being committed, leave people alone.
Don't bother them.
If there is no crime being committed, leave people alone. I know that there's this initiative like, okay, well, we want to prevent the crime before it happens. But the honest to God truth is, crime is going to happen regardless.
Exactly.
Whether if you're there before it happens or if you're there after the fact. So I think that with police officers, especially with police officers who can't relate to our culture in any type of way, they should be in areas where they can relate. It would probably benefit them a lot more. They would probably be less fearful. But I think as a whole, in America, they fear black people. Just because we're...
I ain't gonna lie, black people, we are powerful and we are trying to become on an uprising. I think they fear that we're coming up on an uprising, not just in the entertainment industry, but the fact that we have black people that now they want to be doctors, now they want to be lawyers, now they want to be judges, now they want to be part of the system to help change the system, and they fear that we're trying to change the system, and that's probably gonna overthrow them. Because think about it, the people who really be the most afraid of us are poor white people. Think about it, rich white people don't really be too much afraid of us unless you count like politics or something like that. But rich white people, you always see them wanting to like be part of black culture and help black culture, because they have more of the intellect to understand. But I feel like the white people who are like poor, they the ones that really don't like us. Think about it. You never really heard like a rich white person really want to attack you. You out here about be like a hillbilly or be a person who was like who lacks the intellect of what it really means to be a human being and stuff like that. But we'll talk about this subject a little later. Now I just want to introduce y'all to our guest, Jourdan.
Yo, what's good?
Today we're gonna talk to Jourdan about his 2 skits. We seen it on Instagram, you seen it on Twitter. He kind of made, a little Precious movie. I ain't gonna lie, turned a little dark twisted movie. He made it funny. And the question we want to ask you about you, what made you want to make those 2 skits?
Okay, first of all, me and my friend Sakari, we made that video like when the semester just started, like August. It was for a contest Zoe did. It was for a little Amazon Fire Stick or whatever. So I'm like, this is easy, reenact the scene. I already got a movie scene in my phone. So I'm like, Go ahead and drop that on Instagram. And that was it from there. Like, it was just for the fire stick, but it ended up turning into everything else.
Oh wow, that's cool. Okay.
That's pretty amazing. So, it's cause like how many times y'all had to like? Did y'all have to ever like reshoot a bunch of times? Like, did you ever like mess up anything?
I mean, of course we did, because we'll laugh in between it, because like it was just so damn funny.
You just messed up with the little cigarette part. You trying to like hit it. You was like, "Come here, bitch. Come down here, bitch."
The one I messed up on was the one sitting down when she was playing Monique, when she was talking about who gonna love me.
Yeah.
Now that's the one I messed up on, because that's a fucking comedian right there. But the one outside on the hill, that was just in one take.
I ain't gonna lie. One time I thought she was gonna fall though down that hill. I ain't gonna lie.
But yeah, that was all in one take. And the thing is, I only seen Precious once, and that was outside of the contest thing.
To tell you the truth, I actually never really seen that movie. I seen parts of it, but I never actually
Right, it's like
seen
I
the
never
movie.
saw the whole thing, but I just knew that part right there.
Like, the only reason why I ever looked up Precious, I seen this little scene where they was trying to make fun of it, and it was like, "Bro, who stole my chicken?" And it was like Precious, and Precious run off with a big ass Popeye box in her hand. And I was like, well, damn. Let me check this movie out. Did this actually like happen in the movie?
And the thing is, that movie not even supposed to be funny,
No,
but
the
that
movie
movie
is
is-
actually
is-
really.
It's very
very sad,
Very
but
sad. It's dark.
I hate to say it, but the
dark.
shit is kind of funny in a way.
when I seen when the part that got me was the second one, when she was like, and she told me to shut my fat ass up. You said,
So
what
what
did you
did you
say? I mean, so what did you do? I shut my fat ass up. I was like, hell nah.
Man, but I'm telling you, it's just funny because I never seen that movie all the way through, but I know that exact part,
Yep.
word from word.
Yeah. So, do you have any more skits coming up?
I mean, we talked about doing, some more skits from other movies
Like, if
since
you
like
need
we
me,
got so much.
I'm there.
Baby boy.
Got you.
If you need me.
And that was
Y'all
one of them.
gotta
That was
do
what we
Baby
talked
Boy.
about. That was what we talked about.
That was great.
But yeah, since we got so much like hype over the Precious scenes, like we talked about doing, some more stuff.
Okay.
That'd be really great. So I have a question. So what is your major, and what made you want to choose that major to start doing these skits?
Well, first of all, I was a theater major from my freshman and sophomore year, but I changed it. But then I kind of felt like I wasn't getting nothing out of it, to be honest. So I changed it to communications, radio, and television.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it will broaden my horizon, and I'll be able to get somewhere for real with that. So, yeah. And what was the question again?
And like, I said, what was your major, and what
Did it,
made
like-
you?
I'm sorry.
You go.
Did like theater help you, help you out with doing like these skits and stuff? Or
Like they
Now,
helped you get
Imani.
better? Did they help you get better at acting?
You was over there in the Leela Barlow Theater now.
hey.
I'm just going to say this.
Yeah.
So it helped you get better
I didn't
at your
get
acting?
anything out of it.
You didn't need anything?
Anything.
You just that good?
This is
This is a
my
natural
personality.
talent.
That's
This is
just
natural talent?
Natural.
I ain't gonna lie. I used to do acting, especially back in high school. I used to go to school called Dunbar. It's a magnet school. You had to have some type of performing art. And so I was acting, I was singing, and I played the percussion in the band, and I was playing the drums. And when I got to high school, we had to do this scene. Now, remind you, it's a black history play. My friend DeVonta, he played as Frederick Douglass, because he had the fro then and he had this. So he played as Frederick Douglass. And me, what was the most craziest thing ever? Like, I wasn't even in the class to be a part of it. And so I asked the teacher, because I seen them and my friends, they was in, I was like, I want to be in it now. I want to do some acting. I'm good at it. So I had a homeboy, he was playing as the white man at first. And so what I did, I was like, you know what? I want to have fun with this and make a good, enjoyable experience with it. I want to play the white man. Even though I'm the darkest man in the room, I want to play the white man. And so I beat the guy who was light skinned or whatever, lighter than me, and I beat him and I got the white man part. So when the play finally came and all that stuff, I'm over here talking, like trying to talk in the white man's voice and all that stuff, and talking, have my little, suit on, being clean and everything. And all you could hear is people in the crowd like, why they got the blackest nigga playing as a white man?
Oh my God.
Like, why? Then it's like, Jaylen's a thug. Like, he over here playing as a white man. Then it came a scene where, where in real life, Frederick Douglass was speaking about how his master caught him when his master's wife was trying to teach him how to read. And that was the scene that everybody really loved. Like everybody just kept reenacting, even when we had to go to like the Civic Center in front of a big population of other schools and all that stuff to perform it. And the scene was, she was teaching him how to read. I pop in and I was like, Sophia, what the hell you think you doing? And she was like, I'm teaching her how to read. And I was like, bitch, read. And she was like, and everybody was like, oh my God. Like every time when it came to doing the scene, like everywhere I'm going around school, around class, everybody's just saying, Sophia, what the hell you think you're doing? I was like, damn. Like
Tell me about it.
I felt like I was a star at that moment when I was at school. And they was always talking about my homeboy's part, DeVonta,
Right.
about his Feat.Jourdan part, because he did good. And they just loved it, that they wanted to have an encore and see it again. Even the people who went to the Civic Center, they wanted to see that one little scene and just see that again. I was like, it made me actually like think about it. All right, when I go to college, I might just start acting or doing something. And I was like,
I'm sorry.
no, you good. And I might just start acting or doing something I can find that I can feel comfortable doing. I know that I want to do later
Right.
on in the future and just be me. What was you
So
have
do
to
you
say?
still want to act?
You know, it's kind of a little bit. You know, I want to dabble in it, but you know, I'm mostly into the radio scene.
Radio. Okay. So would you think about like auditioning for anything if the opportunity was presented
Of
to
course,
you?
I mostly want to like audition for Tyler Perry. That's
Right.
really
Yeah.
His studio
He just
is
made
that studio.
Man,
though.
it's so amazing.
amazing.
You know, they actually filmed Endgame and like other movies, like big productions at his studio.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Like
Yeah.
if you go to his studio, they even have it. You know, it's crazy because you know Spike Lee. You know how he was talking about Tyler Perry, how he was like being an Uncle
Tyler
Tom.
Perry, I mean, Spike Lee can be a hater sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but like,
he
you know,
can.
but the biggest flex about it though, Tyler Perry still named a part in his studio after Spike Lee.
And
Like
he was still invited to the premiere.
That's
to the
a
opening
mean
of it.
flex. That hey, you hating on me, but look what I got.
Exactly.
Like that's a mean flex. Like I ain't gonna lie. To have that money and to have that type of success that you can really flex with somebody like that, still in a good way, in a generous way, like that's the type of flex I would honestly want to have, where it just comes to the point. All right, I put in all this hard work, I put in all this success, and now all the people, all my haters, hey, look at y'all name on this wall.
Right.
Just so y'all can read
Y'all
what
come
I've
to my
done.
shit.
Right.
Y'all at my
See me
stuff.
sign.
So do you think like colorism plays a huge role in like, you know, we're actors. So like landing roles and going out and auditioning, like how he said he was the blackest dude in the room, but he was playing a white guy, which I thought was really cool. And it kind of played an element of humor, you know, but do you think that colorism plays a huge role in, you know, people that look like us not getting certain things?
Colorism and sexism.
And sexism. Mm-hmm.
Because I'm gonna touch on the sexism part. First of all, Scarlett, I believe it's Scarlett Johansson.
Mm-hmm.
They casted her for a transgender role, I believe.
When they could have just casted
you could have just casted a transgender, you know, person.
Yeah.
Especially when we have polls right now, all the transgender
Yep.
women and all that type of stuff. You could have easily got one of them.
Yeah.
And, you know, and casted them. And I'm touching on the colorism stuff. It's so many roles out there right now that's on the big screen
Yeah.
that white people are playing that's really meant for black folks.
People. Or I see a lot where they'll cast, you know, a woman of a lighter hue versus the woman of a
For
darker
example,
hue.
that Netflix movie, was
With
it
the-
Raising Dion?
Yep.
At first, it was a dark-skinned woman.
Yeah.
But now, once it, you know, premiered on Netflix, it's a fair-skinned
It's a
woman.
fierce
I think
one.
I heard somebody talking about that, and a person was telling like white people, they feel like it's more compatible when that's the reason why they they'll try to be more friendlier to like light skinned blacks, even though they are black, because they feel like their color is closer to theirs and it's more palatable to theirs. So they'll like ease on them a little versus like my skin color, your skin color, and they'll like, you know, kind of interact with them more and just feel more comfortable around them.
And I feel like that's where that slave master stuff come in, because if you look at My Wife and Kids
Yeah.
and Fresh Prince of Bel-Air,
Martin.
dark skin,
Martin.
then they switch to, you know, light
Yeah.
skin, because they got this thing where they feel like light skin looks better.
Just like Martin, like, you know how, because I remember they was talking about how, you know how Gina is like light skinned. They had Gina and they making Pam look like she's ugly. Donkey talking about her, but Pam's the one that's beautiful
Right.
and everything. To me, I ain't gonna lie, Pam.
Yeah, Pam looks way
Pam's
better.
bad.
Pam looks
boy.
way better than Gina,
Boy.
but of
Pam
course
is
they
bad.
gonna boost, you know, Gina
Gina.
because she's light skinned.
Yeah.
Yes.
I understand.
And what's that movie? It's a Disney movie because now they decided to cast I forgot her name. I think it's on the Little Mermaid, the crowd.
Chloe.
Yes.
Lord.
And people started.
Man.
That was horrible. When I say the reaction from the
You saw what happened on Facebook?
I bet white Twitter was in an uproar.
White Twitter was in an uproar. This is the only redhead
White Twitter.
princess, and I'm like, okay. First of all, the girl in not Tangled, but she was the other girl. She was like a
Princess and the Frog.
no, she's like she's a redhead, and she was like a Robin Hood
Brave.
type.
Brave.
I
ain't never seen it. I ain't want to see the
Okay,
little
so you got
redhead
her too. You know what I'm saying? But then they're like, this is the only redhead princess that we have. Imagine going almost 100 years with no princess that looks like you at all.
Exactly.
Like nobody thought to have a black princess, and then
When the
she's
Princess
a frog
and the Frog came along,
she's a frog throughout majority of the movie. She's not even a princess for majority of the movie. She's a frog. But I digress. We ain't even gonna get all the way
get into that
one.
Child, they said we gave y'all black princess. Go right ahead. Mm-hmm. But baby girl was a damn amphibian the whole damn movie, basically.
The whole movie. So it's like, and then I feel like her being Ariel confirms that, one, you're telling every little brown girl that you can be whatever you want to be.
Exactly.
And it doesn't matter. And for white Twitter to be in such an uproar about her being black, pretty much, says a lot about our culture and our demographic and where we are as a whole as the United States of America.
People are just so nasty. Like the backlash that girl got was horrible.
It was horrible. And she actually, like, if you look at her little face and you look at Ariel's little face, they like have similar features. So I don't understand it.
Yeah, that was horrible. What that girl went through, but she has a very level-headed mind, so she will get through it and she will prevail through that role.
Yeah, I mean, also another thing is, like, because the polls are really going up on, like, black men going through, like, depression, like, suicide and whatever. Mm-hmm. And it's starting to be a lot more black men, like, killing themselves. Because the problem is, as black men, like, we're always told to, like, man up, to always do this. We can't be crying. We don't supposed to be going through things like this and handling this type of situation. Like, we're supposed to always, like, suck it up and, like, and just basically just, I don't know what it means, but be a man and just, like, I can't be sad. I can't get mad. I can't lash out. I can't do that. And all that does is build up anger and anxiety and depression in me. And, like, because when you tell me I can't talk to nobody about it, like, I'm weak because I want to express myself, like, that really creates a whole different mental state that ends up calling a person, okay, they can't handle it no more. Now they want to just take their life. And now we be wondering why did they kill themselves? Why did they do this? When the whole answer was right there. Because people, whether we know it or not, but people, even if they don't know it, they throw and show you signs that they're trying to leave this earth. They're trying to kill themselves. Mm-hmm. And they tell you what the signs are, but people be still ignoring them. Like, if I have friends that are going through some things and I feel like they're going through things, even when they may not, I still tell them. Like, I call my homeboys, we have a group chat, I'll tell them straight up, I love y'all. I just want to let y'all know that I love y'all, that if you need anything, I got you. I always want to make sure that you're happy, that you're safe, no matter what you're going through, no matter what we have to do together. We need to stick together to make sure, even our women, to make sure our women are feeling good, to make sure our women are feeling happy, that they're not feeling bad, and that they are safe. And, like, to be honest, I don't really understand that when people speak on that.
I think a lot of our problems as a community stems from, like, slavery. Like, at a point in time, our black men didn't have the luxury of crying. We didn't have the luxury of doing that. You had to suck it up. You had to get it together. You had to push through. You had to get through the workday to live and survive. And then that mentality and that trauma has been passed down. And it's unfair that we are now at a place where we, like you said, we got black men that can't talk to anybody or don't feel like they have anybody to talk to, or they feel less of a man because they shed a tear. It creates an unhealthy environment within your family, within yourself. Like, and I don't know how we would, I just don't know how we would start to open it up and say it's okay, you know? I don't know if that's something for a man to do, because I feel like women, we kind of say, oh, it's okay, you know, it's okay. You can talk to me about it, babe, what's wrong? You know, and I think men need to kind of come together and say, like, look, it's all right, you know?
I just wanted to say, like y'all was saying about, like, women, like, you being able to come to them saying, it's okay, like, how Jaylen was talking about, like, he feel like one of his friends going through something and he in a group chat, like, I love y'all, right? That was just me, right? But he was worried about me, but I'm not feeling like if I'm sad, I'm not finna call this nigga at 1 a.m, like, hey, bro, I'm sad, I need a hug. Like, so this nigga, he was worried about me, but because I wasn't going to him with the problems, but I was going to females with the problems, because they're the ones that you go to, like, they're the ones that's like, oh, it's okay. Those ones you go to for a hug. Like, I'm sad, I'm not finna call this nigga for a hug, so.
That's true,
like,
that's true.
Like, that's what I'm saying.
I
like,
can understand that.
I'm saying, like, that's why I didn't come to you with no problems, because, like, if I'm going through emotional things, I'm not finna come to my niggas at 1 a.m, like, hey, bro, I'm sad.
Yeah, you go to the people you feel more comfortable.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to
where you can completely open up and get rid of all that negative energy that is on you.
Yeah.
And, like, I can understand that, because, like, I have my certain people who I would hit up and I would call and be like, at this time in the morning, because I can understand why would you want to hit me up at this time in the morning? You probably don't want to wake me up and stuff like that, but you know who you got there to be available for you to hit up on speed dial right at that moment.
And it's hard because sometimes people don't know who to go to. You know, they think, I know, and anxiety plays a huge role into depression too, because you start to overthink, you know, so you like, okay, well, what if I go to such and such with my problems and they run and tell everybody? Or what if I put my problems off on someone else and now they're carrying my problems and their problems, and you don't want to be a burden to other people. So I don't know where you can decipher who's a good person to come to and who's a good person to talk to. I always say talk to random people, because they don't care. You know, they don't care, like, about your problems, and it's an easy release. You know, you talk, you get it out, and people listen, and they might never see you ever again.
You have some random people that they actually can relate to your problem. They're like, you going through this as well?
Right.
Like, oh my gosh, this is the same thing I'm going through. Like such and such did this, such did that, and then you realize you're not alone.
Yep. That
you have someone that is there with you to help you out with that problem.
And don't be scared to get professional help.
Don't.
Talk
Please.
to God.
Yes.
I'm telling you, I'm a living testimony of depression. Like,
He's
that
always
shit
down
was
to just
bad.
listen.
Like, my younger years,
Yeah.
I hated myself. I blamed myself for everything, my appearance and sexuality. I hated all of that. And coming here to Alabama, like, getting away from Indiana, like, actually getting to know myself and, like, actually getting a chance to know myself. You have to know yourself.
Yep.
You have to build a religious relationship with God. That's very important. And I'm trying not to tear up right now.
It's
That's
okay.
Because that's a very touchy subject. Like, depression is real, and everybody got to realize it. And a lot of people go through that shit, but you might not see it.
Right.
But it's happening.
And it's okay not to be okay. Like, I know people who want to be okay all the time. Like, oh yeah, I'm good. No, I'm straight. No, it's fine.
I can handle this. Like,
it's not, you know. I don't know.
Like,
this is a touchy subject.
Like, when you're alone, like, understand that sometimes you feel like it's best that you be alone, but, like, let someone know, like, what you are going through, because you don't have to face your problems alone. There's, like I said, there's always going to be someone who has the same scenario, the same story as you, to give you a shoulder to cry on. They can cry on yours and they can relate to you. Like, even when it goes to, like, a relationship, what's going on with your family, what's going on in your life general to make you do these things and what is putting you through what you're going through. Like, well, with me, I had a problem where I was kind of, like, distant my relationship with God, because I was like, he wasn't. It was a time I was really going through those things, and I was praying to God, and I felt like my prayers weren't getting answered. When I was playing football back in high school, like football was an outlet for me. Me not realizing it was really an outlet for me when I was angry, when I was going through stuff with my family, when I was going through stuff with my mom after my granddad died, when we was going through problems where we didn't have the income to, like, take care of things for the house. Me seeing my mom suffer made me want to step up and be more of a man and make sure the bills are paid. It made me want to step up and make sure my mom was taken care of. Because it used to be times when I was sick and my mom would tell her job forget y'all. I'm going to make sure my son's straight, my daughter straight, my family is good. And the things I realized how much my mom sacrificed for me. I had a friend, he always asked me, Jaylen, why you working? Why you always working so hard? Why you always trying to do this? I told him straight out, I gotta work hard so one day my mama won't have to. So one day I can step up for her. Like it was because my dad was really in my life. He's trying to be in my life now. And the point to me, I'm being more forgiving and allow him to be back in my life because it's the fact that he's there now. He realizes errors and everything. Now he's trying to make up for it. He's helping my mom more. He's helping me more. He's helping us get a new house back at home. All because we're grouping back together and not trying to let us divide, but come together as one. And we're more powerful together when we do that. Us separating, trying to be alone, trying to be isolated, be introverted from one another.
That shit makes it worse.
It makes it worse. But when we group together, we are so powerful. And that's one reason why white people trying to kill us off. Because they see how powerful we are when we group together, when we come together and we do such and such. And think about it, every time we come together, we make such a big movement that people can feel the shift of energy when we come together. And people get afraid of that because they realize how powerful black people are once they put their minds together, because we are so smart and intellect, and that when we really want to get something done, we get it done. And it's just the fact that it's no more should we really be able to be sad about that. It's just you shouldn't want to be alone. You should always want to be with somebody.
I feel like the first thing that helped me the most is really you got to forgive yourself. You got to forgive yourself. You can be the hardest critic on yourself. You have to forgive yourself. You have to forgive others. You got to forgive people that's hurt you. Because if you hold on to hurt, it's just going to manifest, and it's going to harbor, and it's going to fester, and it's going to eat you alive. That is literally going to eat you alive. You have to forgive yourself. You got to forgive others, and you have to realize some shit is just not in my control. And if I can't control it, I'm gonna give it to God, and I'm gonna let it be. I had a professor tell me, my favorite professor, shout out to Dr. Ashbourne, to tell me, he gave me a verse and it stuck with me, and I'm never gonna forget it. Now I can't call the exact verse, but the verse is, I can remember what it says, and it is trust in the Lord with all thy heart and not relying within your own understanding. Yes. And in so much we try to figure it out ourselves. We try to figure it out ourselves. When the honest to God truth is, we just have to trust that it's gonna work out. And if it doesn't work out, that's okay. It's okay for stuff not to work out. It's okay for things to fall apart. And that's the hardest thing about life. That's the hardest thing to move past, is understanding that everything doesn't go your way. And it's okay that everything don't go your way. You gotta brush it off and keep it going. And moving forward is hard. But you gotta talk to people. Like you said, you gotta get professional help. You have to. Like, I feel like that should be mandatory for people. I think that should be in high school classes, especially in high school. You go through the hardest things in high school.
Man, high school, that was the toughest for me.
Man,
that's where I harbored a lot of my hurt from.
Yep.
And bringing it here, like my freshman year, like I said, I'm happy with myself now. I moved on with a lot of that shit. But a lot of that shit harbored from high school, and then I brought it my freshman year. Yep. And then it didn't make it no better because, I came down here all the way from Indiana by myself. Mm-hmm. I didn't know nobody, so I didn't get to know nobody. I was in my room, like, going fucking crazy. And, I had to have that talk with God and, fix myself, forgive a lot of stuff that happened with, in high school, forgive people, forget all of that. And I had to let that shit go. And that's where,
that's
the person that I
comes.
am, that's where that healing came from. And, I can say I'm truly in love with myself. And another thing is keeping a good crowd around also.
Yes. Oh,
like,
my God.
People like them and the people that I met my freshman year, that's who molded me to who I am today. And I'm just so eternally grateful for them. Like, you really don't understand.
I feel like we relate, because I feel the same way. When I came from high school, it was just a lot of hurt from high school. I had went through a lot of things just to get to college. Like, I'm not gonna get all into it, but I had to forgive a lot of people, you know. And when I got here, it wasn't until my sophomore year in college that I really went through it, because sophomore year I was on vocal rest for an entire year. I had vocal nodules. I couldn't sing. I couldn't talk. I couldn't do anything. So I was really just in my room. And then I lost family members back home and not being able to get back there, because I'm from Wisconsin. So I can't get back there to go to the funeral, and I can't get back there to say my goodbyes. And then there were certain things, you know, relationships that you try to hold on and cultivate and make, and then they fall apart, and it felt like everything was just falling apart. And then it forced me to address the hurt that I had been ignoring, because freshman year, I was working. I was all the time working, singing, here, there. You saw me everywhere. But I didn't realize it was to avoid the pain that I was feeling. And then when I was forced to sit down and listen and think about it and talk about it and recognize it, it took me through a long depression.
To add on to that though, because I honestly feel like high school and college was really the time through the years I took to really self-discover myself, like who am I?
Yep.
Who will I become, and what am I trying to be, and what I'm trying to do? Because in high school, I never seen myself as someone who's really cool in high school. Like I always consider myself someone who's just neutral, just mainly just relaxing, whatever. I had my specific circle of people who I hanged with and everything. And I always thought I was lame because I had people. Now I just realized they was just hating on me. And when I graduated, I realized that all these people that I thought that didn't know me. They was like, my mom used to work on this pair of chains and mall. They used to, like, a lot of people know my mom and they know me, which I didn't even know. They be like, hey, Miss Rencher, like, where your son at? And I'd be like, who? My mom would say, such and such, asked about such and such. I'm like, who are these people? And I see they face and I'd be like, oh, I remember them, but like, I didn't even know they know me. And then as me, when I went to college, before I came here, I went to Alabama A&M. I really thought I was smart as hell until I went to college and I was hanging around people that was way smarter than me. And I ain't gonna lie, I felt dumb around them. But the thing I didn't do, I was so uncomfortable, but I got comfortable being uncomfortable. I stayed hanging around them because they didn't mean me harm. Yep. But it's just the fact they were so much smarter than me that I was like, I realized I needed to hang around with people that were smarter than me. So when I started hanging around with them, I started doing better. I learned how to manage my money better. I got me a job. And I learned how to like adjust to college and adjust to like the college life period, how it is before I transferred over here. And then when I transferred over here, I came back to hang with my friends I was hanging with in high school, and things just started getting better. Like I started doing better in my grades. I started doing better with like my income and managing my time while I was in college. Like while I'm in here right now. Like look at what we're doing right now today because of how I just keep progressing. I refuse to let myself digress. Because I believe in a month later, I'm either going to progress or stay the same. And I refuse to stay the same because I want to progress every day.
Hello?
Even without this podcast and other things, I want to progress in life general with my health. How I am physically, how I feel about myself, who I hang with. Because you're going to lose friends in life. I realize that. Even people that you think are close. Because one, this is life. Life's going to be here, go on with or without you. People are temporary life. You're gonna lose people through death, or they just gonna disconnect from you. Like this year, it's kind of been a little hard because I lost two people I know. I lost my uncle like 3-4 weeks ago, and I found out that one of my track coaches who believed in me when I was trying to get better and like for football and athlete and like track and stuff, he believed in me. He pushed me more. Like they were like two father figures to me. They made sure I was straight. They always made sure I was good. And just to hear that they're gone. Like, I was hurt about it. And my friend Devonta, he was talking to me, I was hurt about it, and I told him about my situation. But the thing we got to realize, it made me want to push even more. It made me want to go even harder in life just so they can see what I'm doing and they can be proud of me. And I use that as a motivation. When I don't feel like getting up in the morning, when I don't feel like doing this, I remember I got to get up for them. I got to get up for myself. I got to get up for my family. I got to get up for God because God woke me up in this morning just to go get up. Like every day I wake up, I thank God and tell him I thank you. I give him praise because somebody else wish they could still wake up this morning. And I thank him for allowing me to wake up this morning so I can interact with the people I love, do the things that I love, and be able to just keep on and going and just enjoying life one day at a time.
Yeah, it's about feeding yourself positive affirmations, not negative. Like, when you grow up and people call you stupid, that's one thing that I heard all the time. Like, you talented, but you stupid. And that you start to internalize that, you start to believe like I'm
And some of them be
stupid.
your own friends.
And yeah, some of them be your own family, and it hurts even worse when it comes from like a mom
Yeah, when it comes
or
to
a
someone that's
dad.
close.
You when it comes from somebody that's close and that actually knows you, and they call you stupid like constantly, you start to internalize that. Like I didn't even believe I legitimately did not believe I was smart until I got to college, and I knew I had to do good in college because ultimately I really didn't have nowhere to go back if I went home. Like I had just got kicked out of the house. I was homeless for 3 months before I got to college. So it was like, I know I can't mess up. So when it was the opportunity presented itself and you go for it, like you have to keep telling yourself, I am smart. I am gonna get up and go to this class. I am talented. I can do this audition. I can, and never I can't. Or I'm not enough. You are enough. And people have to understand that, you know? But
Here's a quote I liked about Albert Einstein though. What he said that I liked it, that made me understand that me being different and me being creative is what makes me smart as well. When he was like, everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. Because I believe, honestly, like the most talented, most smartest people are the people who are most creative. Because I mean, everything that's here already, you can just learn about it. But when you be making stuff out of nothing, when you be doing stuff out of nothing off of pure talent, you get better at it and everything. And so, like you said, people make you feel stupid, but they didn't even realize that the genius that you have is already in you, and that it just had to take time for it to come out. Mm-hmm. And they just were looking at you from an outside appearance and understanding what's inside of you.
That was the key to it. I really had to start believing in myself, because you can't let other people's opinions, and it's really an age thing. When you get older and you start to, like you said, learn yourself, you can't let other people's opinions influence you. So
Now, I want to talk about when we was talking about friends really be your haters, though.
Yeah.
Baby, high school. Mind you, I don't talk to none of them.
No more.
No more. I don't have no friends from high school no more. I only have my college friends. Now, I hung out with this group and all, and, you know, it was this one dude. He would say slick shit on the low, but yeah,
I hate them.
Like, for instance, oh, you got this new phone. Just something slick behind it. You know you couldn't afford that. Some shit. It's like that shit like that. Really, your biggest haters. I'm not friends with none of them no more. Like,
people like that, negative people, do not need to be around.
And I had one friend. We fell out. Now, if y'all fall out, y'all gonna bounce back.
Yeah, real friends do.
Not gonna talk shit about nobody. Got home. I only had said just one thing. I said I had put on Snapchat, and it was just indirect. I was like, I ain't got no friends here, no more. Child, she went back. She gonna say on her story, oh, sucks to be you. I said, well, sis, nobody's talking to you. And all this type of stuff. Now, I don't have a car. So she was like, you talking all this stuff, but pull up if you can. I still pull up in my mama car. What you thought? But she gonna say
over with the car.
She gonna say pull up if you can, and I said if I pull up.
She's trying to be shady.
Yeah, I said if I pull up, can you come out because you still live with your damn grandma and you got a curfew, bitch.
See, people think when you trying to dodge drama, that you scared.
You 21 and you got a whole 11 o'clock curfew. What type of shit is that talking about? And you telling me should I pull up? Pull up if I can.
Pull up if you can.
But can you come outside?
But can you? Is that the real?
Can
question?
I knock on the door and ask your grandma? Can you come outside?
Can she come outside?
Hey, Miss Gary, can your daughter come outside real quick? I just gotta beat her ass. Like, people be really thinking when you trying to dodge drama that you scared, but don't realize I will fuck you up.
No, that is so true. We are too old.
But you feel me? But now we at the older part, but we gonna handle this like in an adult manner now. Like back when I was younger. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not even finna try to talk to you. I'm just gonna straight up try to give you them hands because that was just who I was. On the point of like really trying to talk it.
See, but a lot of people ain't like that. Like, them people I'm talking about, still in Gary, Indiana, not progressing.
Right.
Everybody that got pregnant, either died. You still at home miserable.
And God took you somewhere else.
Y'all still at home miserable as fuck, so y'all trying to get on me.
Yeah.
Because y'all mad.
And that's the type of people you be around. You have to surround yourself with positive people because all that negative energy, sis, keep that. Keep that, sis.
Keep
I don't
that shit
need
over
that.
there.
All right, we're going to take a quick break for one moment real quick, and we'll be right back with you. This is a Let's Be Straight Up podcast, and we'll be right back.
So many years that I waited like an orphan just to find out I wasn't getting started. If it ain't my family or cash, it ain't important. I don't do no back and forth, that shit annoying. Like a miss in the rush, I be Tom Sawyer. I'm a king, but I don't come to destroy it. I know real gangsters that kill with no gun. My life and your life, it come with some different drama. You the type to make street shit with your mama. He so broke, he can't even buy Mickey. Don't worry about how I get it, it ain't none of yours. This life so wonderful. I think I'm on to some. Can't let them see what I've been doing. Can't be too vulnerable. Money like what you wanted for. Like so long, so long, so long. It's been too long, too long, too long. Been so long, so long, so long. Too long, cause I've been waiting so long. I gotta stay strong, baby, I'm not on.
All right, what's up, everybody? This is the Let's Be Straight Up podcast. We're back. This is the segment where we're talking about, how life is so precious. Now we're bringing to you another one of our guests.
Hi, I'm Brooklyn Alina.
All right, y'all. So we're back to talking about, beating grandmas up and shit. Or being, whatever we was talking about, whatever we was doing. We speaking on, anxiety, depression, and how people should be more generous and stuff. Speaking on that, we did not talk about that for one.
What?
I feel like people should start trying to be more generous in life. Like how much more life would be easy. Like find out the true meaning of what sharing is.
Not only that, but blessings.
Exactly.
When you're more
blessings.
generous, blessings
Yeah.
come pouring in.
Exactly,
That
and
is
it feels good to be generous because it's a thing I was talking about earlier today with one of my friends when I was talking about when people get money. It makes them show their true colors, who they really are. Like if a person is nice and they get money, they're gonna be nicer. If a person's an asshole and get money, they're gonna be more of an asshole.
Yep.
And it's just as simple as that. Cause like me when I be getting money, I ain't gonna lie, I be want to spend it, but I just don't want to spend it on me. I be want to like help other people. I be want to like, hey, this person's probably hungry. Let me go buy them this. Now, if I see a homeless person, and the thing I do not do. I like helping homeless people, but I'm not really gonna tell nobody, hey, I just want to help this homeless person, because I don't care about the bragging rights about it. I like to help this person and help them get up. And I have a whole conversation with a homeless person, let them know that they are also not alone, and that when I make it, especially if you're serious about getting off your feet, I will help you get off your feet. And it's just as that. Like, what is your intake on this, Brooklyn?
On like being more generous to people.
Yeah.
I feel like whatever you give out into the universe, it's gonna come back to you, no matter what happens.
Karma.
Yeah, karma.
Good,
I
bad,
truly
whatever.
believe in that. And sometimes, like with our culture and stuff, we don't like to believe in that because we feel like it's devilish and everything is devilish. But I feel like no, whatever you pour out, that's what gets poured back into you. So like it's like that goes into church as well. Whatever you put out as a seed, that's where you're gonna get back. So I feel like honestly, if you want good energy, it comes around you, or if bad energy comes around, your good energy should be so powerful that it cancels out all negativity automatically.
Yeah, positive plus a negative always equals a positive. It's just. But to add on to that, cause like when you're just being generous, period, it just feel good to me, honestly. To just be generous, to like know that damn. I just made somebody else's day better.
Right, just make somebody smile.
Exactly, just make their day way more positive.
I think generosity is very important. I also believe that generosity does have a limit. You have to recognize when you're being taken advantage of. And I say that in the most loving way possible. But it's hard when you're a giving person and you have this giving energy, you have this giving spirit. It's going to attract people who don't have. And then once you pour so much into certain people, they may come back for more, and you've already given all that you can give, or they leave and they don't pour back. You know, and everybody has a duty to pay it forward. So if somebody is being generous to you, like if let's say somebody behind me paid for my gas, boom, in the line, and I go and pump my tank, and I got a full tank now because they paid for my gas. It's my obligation to pay that forward to someone else. It doesn't have to be back to that person. But like I agree completely with you, Brooklyn. What you put out in the universe, it's gonna always come back to you, and you gotta be careful because it might hit your kids, and it might not hit
you. That is true. Sometimes it don't hit you. It passes down to like another generation and all that stuff. Or it may not hit them. It may hit your grandkids or something like that.
It's going to hit you where it's going to hurt 10 times more.
And you have your kids wondering like, damn, why did this happen to me?
Yep.
Because your mom.
It's
She being a hoe. She probably doing this. Like, your daddy was being a rolling stone. He was going everywhere, slaying dick, doing all this stuff. Like, And that just happens.
I think that's one of the biggest questions, like what you were saying about when do you really know when's your limit? Like, of people taking advantage of you, or like you need to be nice or being generous.
I think
When
we
is the
always
limit?
feel it. We always feel, you know, especially in relationships and things like that. You feel when you've done enough. You know what I'm saying? You know in the back of your mind, like, ooh, this person is pushing it.
Right.
They doing too much, but we try to fight it. And that voice in your head, my mom always say, that's God talking to you.
Yeah.
That's your conscience, whatever you want to call it. In your head, you have to listen to that gut instinct. Your gut, when you think about all of the times in your life and you think about your gut telling you things, your gut was never wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Never, not once. Out of all of the experiences you ever had, you're like, dang, I talked myself out of doing that, but my first mind was da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and I should have did that.
That's true.
You always listen to your gut instinct. So you'll know when you're being overly generous and when somebody is taking advantage of you. I had a friend,
You
that
get
was like
you,
that.
you get that vibe from you, get that energy, like the vibe that you give to them. Like it doesn't feel as high as what you're like. Your vibe feels way higher than how theirs feel when you exchanging energies, and you can tell, okay, I'm putting more energy in this than they are putting in back towards me, and we're not exchanging the same amount. Where I'm actually replenishing my energy, and you're really draining me because I'm doing more than what you are offering. And
That's a message.
And Vanta, I heard you was trying to say something. You want me to hold the camera and let you get in on this?
Oh no, you just said positive plus negatives cancels out, but it's positive multiplied by negatives.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
All good.
Yeah. See, that's why I got friends that that be smarter than me.
Right.
Sometimes they help correct me, help me learn better. You feel me?
I definitely think that's a message, though. When you are pouring into somebody and you're being generous, you never feel drained after it. You feel good, If you're pouring into somebody and afterwards you're like, oh, God, I can't do this no more. Something isn't right, either on their end or on your end. You might not be having a giving and a cheerful heart when you're giving. So it could be that. But if you're feeling drained afterwards, they're sucking your energy and you're no longer pouring into them, but they are taking from you at that point.
Yeah.
No mouth needed.
Time to cut it off.
But generosity can also get you somewhere also.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, I did a toy drive. I had a position last year. I was Mr. American Red Cross for my organization. And I wanted to go home. Well, I went home. And I wanted to do something for Christmas and all that type of stuff. But, I'm like, I got this position. Let me use it to my best advantage. I didn't have no money. Now, just in one day alone, I asked people for donations, to buy toys for this local daycare that I want to give toys to. Just in one day, I raised over like $600, and I only needed like $300. So I went ahead and bought the toys and all that. The lady loved it and all that. She told me like if I ever needed anything, just let her know, and she'll make sure that I'm set, for my last semester of school. Like,
yes.
she really took care of me.
That is
Like,
so
just for me
good.
wanting to do something special.
Yes.
I think that goes into, no matter what you think, you're always being watched, whether it's by adults, kids.
God.
You're always being watched. Someone is always watching you.
And to add on to that too, I remember my homeboy. He didn't really have no clothes. I'm not gonna say his name. He goes to Israel. And he watched the podcast. He be like, "What the fuck? I know damn well you just telling people." So I had a homeboy. We were both playing football and everything together, and he didn't really have no clothes. And my mama was buying me a lot of polo and all that stuff, name brand things. And I was like, I don't really wear it as much anymore. And I was like, I wasn't feeling like I was being too humble to be like properly like wearing the stuff that my mom bought me a lot. So I was like, know what? Because I love my bro and who he was and who he has been to me in my life, I gave him my clothes. I put it all in bags, gave him a full set of like polo shirts, regular tees, pants, jeans, some shoes and stuff. And like when he was so thankful for it, like he even hugged me because he was so thankful for it that him and his brother got to have some more clothes. And the thing I realized how big that benefited me, I wasn't even supposed to be here for the spring semester of my sophomore year because I still owe the school like $700. My dad told me, don't worry, son, I got you. I'm going to have it. But he never did came with it. So I was panicking that day. My mom was already not feeling well. She was having problems with her heart. So I was just panicking. I was like, God, I pray to you. I don't know what to do. Just please give me an answer. Like, I just want my mom to be okay. And I want to still be able to go to school because I want my mom to be worried about how I'm going to get back into school. And that's been putting more pressure on her heart. So then I was telling my homeboy, because I always called him to talk to him about things because I didn't know who else to go to besides God. And I started talking to him about it. And I told him my situation. He's like, how much money is it? I was like, $700. He's like, check your cash out. And he cashed out me $700.
Yeah.
And when I say I wanted to cry so hard, and I told him, I said, don't take this back. He's just like, nigga, he's like, why would I take that back? Your dumb ass need to go to college. You need it.
Yeah.
I was like, you right, but I was like, bro, I gotta find a way to pay you back. He said, don't worry. He said, I know that you are good boy and that you will come up somehow to pay it. And it made me want to push even harder. This is the thing that pushing me now because I'm still want to pay him back. More than $700. I want to turn that $700 gave me into $7,000.
Because now they watch you even more hard, you know, to make sure that you are going to
see a
succeed.
return on that
Exactly.
investment.
So I need that money back, Jaylen. I need it. You give me my goddamn money. I don't give a fuck. You got to sell drugs. Like it's just like when I say I thank him so much, like every time I really see him, it reminds me that I got to do good for my bro. I got to do it for my bro. Because if it wasn't for him, I still wouldn't be here talking to you guys right now.
I feel like God is always gonna make a way. Like this is how it ties in with being nice, being generous, and God having your back. So like we went to the mall or whatever, and it was me and 3 friends. Not gonna say their names, like you said, whatever. And so we couldn't afford to go in like different stores or whatever. So I get paid on Tuesdays, but it was Friday. You know, I ain't got no money by then.
Right.
Got gas. My card take $40 off the rip, and my freaking checks is like $115. So my friend, she didn't have no money, and I told her, I said, just pick out what you want, and I'm going to buy you clothes. I spent $72 on her, and I only spent $22 on me. And so I'm looking at my bank account. I only got $12-something in my account, whatever. So I'm like, how I'm making through the rest of the week? So I was just talking to my dad or whatever. We're not the closest, but all of a sudden, he sent me a cash app of $100. And I called him. I said, you do not know how I need it. I made a video, and it went viral on Twitter.
I seen it.
Next thing you know, ASU alumni started cash apping me money, $50, another $50, $100. When I tell you, I probably had about $600 in my bank account in 2 days.
Look at God.
I ain't gonna lie, I started.
Didn't know how we gonna make it through the week.
Out here, for real.
That is so crazy.
This was like less than a month ago.
That is so crazy.
Won't
Look
he
at
will?
God. Will he won't? Yes, he will.
Shut up.
Hello.
That is so crazy.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. This is the Let's Be Straight Up podcast when the name of our segment was Oh, How Life is So Precious. I love talking to you guys. This is your boy, Jaylen Rencher.
And I'm Imani Kwame.
And I'm Jourdan Parker.
Brooklyn Alina.
And we have enjoyed your time. Now you'll be gone. All right.
You ain't straight. Prove to me that you're straight. Show me if you pull up on High Street. I'ma make blood on my body. These pussy nigga tryna sissy me. Was on your gums, now I'm on your teeth. I'm an angel when I see. I'm loving your generosity. And I don't think it's no other like me. And I won't make it hard to believe. And I won't cap it all.